Welcome to her First Six Figures Morning Show. That is an interactive coaching and training experience as a part of a free business mastermind group to position Black and Brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com and then right when I said forward slash, I lost my link. Forward slash more. So that's shaycannon.com /more, because what we have been talking about all week and what we are closing out as a series is transform your sales. Do this to sell more often. Okay. And the do this are the strategies we've been talking about this week, because if you want to make more money in your business, you have to sell more often. It's just that simple. Okay. Especially for online service-based businesses, we have the whole digital space out here that we're playing in, and we have to find ways to sell every day without being salesy. Now, the strategy that we talked about in part one on Monday was social media. It is a juggernaut for you to create content and gain attention so that you can sell in different ways every day without being salesy. In fact, I gave you 10 types of posts that you can use. So if you need that information, go back to part one about social media. Part two was your email list, your first owned Lord, OWNED platform is your email list. And so we definitely need to be talking to and selling to our email list way more often. And how can you do that without being salesy? Well, we gave you 10 types of emails that you could be sending and rotating to sell every day without feeling salesy and without coming off as salesy. So go back to part two about emails. On yesterday, we talked about communities, right? Yes, you should be building a community. I've already told you guys that my recommendation is that you build your own community. However, some of us have not started yet. Some of us have just gotten started, but that's not the only community that you can sell to. You can be a part of other communities, right? So you can join communities that are aligned with your business, that are complementary to your business, that have your people, your ideal clients within that community. And I gave you 10 ways that you can pitch community leaders so that you can sell inside of other people's communities more often without seeming salesy. Okay. Now we're going to close it out today with speaking. Okay. As far as your voice can go, as far as your voice can reach, you should be able to try to sell. All right. So let's get into it. Speaking. Another powerful way to establish authority, attract clients, and increase sales is through speaking opportunities, whether it's on a podcast, a webinar, a panel discussion, or a live event. Speaking gives you instant credibility and allows you to connect with an audience in a way that written content simply cannot. Speaking engagements position you as an expert while creating an immediate sense of trust and relatability with your potential clients. People buy from those they trust, and nothing builds trust faster than hearing someone confidently share their insights and their expertise. Now, today's case study, an example, is Lisa Nichols, the renowned speaker, coach, and founder of Motivating the Masses. She leveraged speaking as a key driver in her business growth. In fact, shout out to community leader Dr. Latoya, who isn't on this morning, but she was in a book this year published by Lisa Nichols. So that can up your credibility, right? But Lisa's ability to connect with audiences, share powerful transformations, and clearly communicate her offers has made her a sought-after speaker and multi-million-dollar entrepreneur. Speaking is not just delivering a message. It's about influencing decisions and inspiring action that leads to conversions, okay? So in other words, speaking helps people make a buy-in decision, okay? When they know what their problem is and they know what a solution is, they hear about your solution. You speaking and what you're saying when you speak can help them to make a buying decision. All right. Now that's what's in the blog, but what you know is here on the morning show, give you more. So let me go to these show notes because I have 10 strategies for you today. Now, what the divine download was is that most of us are not sought after speakers just yet, right? Before I became a sought after speaker, I had to go and find speaking opportunities. All right. What I did not understand was I was an expert. I knew other experts, and other experts were getting speaking engagements, but they weren't kind of sharing with me where they were getting these speaking engagements, right? So I had to start paying attention to the types of events that were having speakers such as myself. I had to pay attention to the ones that happen every year. So even though they may have chosen their speakers for this year, I made a mental note to, try to get in for next year or the next time, right? So a lot of you, I know when we say speaking, you guys are like, yeah, I'm up for speaking, but how do I find these speaking engagements? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today in the strategies. I want you to start paying attention to people who have speakings opportunities available to you, whether they have offered it to you or not. And our list today is how you can pitch to get some of these speaking opportunities once you find them. Okay. So number one, I need you to open your eyes and start looking for aligned opportunities. And number two, I want you to use some of the strategies we're going to discuss today to get in on that speaker lineup. Okay. Cool beans. Number one, you can pitch a unique audience-centric topic. Instead of saying, I love to be a speaker, propose a specific topic that directly benefits their audience. Most events have some type of theme to them. Now, the theme may change each year. They might have like sub-themes under a larger scope, but figure out what is it about, who is in the audience, and come up with a topic that would be interesting to that audience, okay? That would be of value to that audience. Don't just say, I want to speak. Don't just say what your title is. Come up with the actual thing that you propose to speak about, okay? Here's an example of what you could say. I'd love to share how service-based entrepreneurs can sell every day without feeling salesy. Would that resonate with your audience? Okay, so that's an example. Number two, leverage your existing audience and platform. Show event organizers or hosts how your presence benefits them by sharing their event with your own audience, right? I am very thankful for the people in my tribe, like the people that are in studio right now, the people that will watch this replay, the people that are watching live, because when I say I'm going somewhere to speak, y'all show up, and y'all show up in the comments, and you let people know, hey, I'm here because Shay said she was speaking today, right? That type of thing is value, because when people hold events, they don't just want people that they know to come, they want new people to come too. Okay. And if you can allow that goal to be achieved because you're going to bring new people with just your presence, baby, that's something to bring up as a win-win. So you can say something like, I'd be happy to promote this on my network of blank engaged audiences to make this a win-win. Because when you have a large email list, when you have a large social media following and all of that, you can use that as leverage to help you get things like speaking engagements, okay? Because people are looking to have their event get more reach. So you can use that. Number three, reference past speaking experience or social proof. Even if you're new, reference a webinar or live training or podcast experience that shows you can deliver, okay? For example, I recently spoke on insert topic for insert group, and attendees love to take away actionable steps. I love to bring similar value to your audience, okay? Awesome. That's a great way, because what people want to know is if they allow you the benefit of their platform, that you will deliver. So show them where you've delivered in the past. All right. Number four, offer an interactive, actionable session. Okay. Interactive, actionable session. Hosts love speakers who engage their audience instead of just talking at them. Okay. In fact, most speakers on their lineup are probably only going to be talking about theory and, what something is and why it's important. They're not talking about the how. So if you come in and you say, hey, I'm willing to not only help them understand what something is, right? I actually want to give them some steps to actually do an interactive something. Event holders love that because it's a nice breakup to the monotony of people just talking. Okay. So offer an interactive, actionable session. Number five, show alignment with their mission and vision. We know that anything that you're doing on somebody else's platform, you need to clue them into the alignment. Don't hope they see the alignment. Bring the alignment in ways that they see it. Okay. We don't want them doing the work. They might not do the work, or they might do the wrong work. So bring it to them how things align. Prove that your expertise supports what they're already teaching and promoting as a part of this event. For example, you could say, I see that your summit focuses on scaling service-based businesses. My talk on selling without feeling salesy would be a great fit for attendees looking to grow their revenue, right? And let me tell you how event holders, they love it when you do most of the work for them, just like media does, just like anybody does. If you come to me and you want to make it win-win, help me help you. Okay, help me help you. So when you do things like say, hey, this is the topic, or this is how I'm going to interact, or these are the people I'm going to bring to your event, when you are coming in a helpful spirit, being of service, yes, they want to pick you. Do you know how many speakers come with just their name, and then it's hard to get stuff from them for them to officially be a part of the event? Yeah, when you come being of service, okay, and making things easier, that's an easy pick as somebody to speak at an event. All right. Number 6, be a super fan first. Okay. Engage with people before you start pitching them. So comment on their posts, share their podcast episodes, or share past stuff about their event. Whatever the event is, share about it. Engage in their communities before you pitch yourself as a guest. Okay. You can create a warm outreach if you make yourself known before you make the ask. All right. A great way of doing that could be, most people who hold events, they've either held events before and you can say something about that, or they're not holding events for no reason. So what is the event garnering attention for? Take a deep dive into the company, or into the offer, or into whatever. See what their online presence is other than the event. And so that you can then start to talk to them. I used to love on Facebook, back in the day, people used to create Facebook groups just for events, right? But they would have the same Facebook group every year. They would just grow that group, and that group was specifically for that annual event. You can join groups. You can join whatever people used to have their events on, or gathered people, so that you can go in there and kind of see what's going on, get a lay of the land, find out information. That way you can use that information to start a conversation before you start to pitch them on your presence on their platform. All right, cool beans. Number 7, we're going to offer a custom bonus for attendees. All right. Sweeten the deal by providing something exclusive, some type of free worksheet, some type of private training, some type of bonus Q&A. Now, when we do private trainings or we do sessions as a bonus, we do them as a group. We don't do individual sessions as a bonus. You don't have time for that. Okay. We don't offer individual stuff. Okay. So we offer a group. Offer another group session where you go deeper into the same topic. Offer a group where you have a live Q&A for something else, but do it group wise when you're doing bonus stuff, okay? Because you don't have the money. Time is money, okay? And we don't have the time to waste the money to be doing individual stuff for free as a bonus. So keep that in mind. All right, number 8, we can I didn't give you the thing that you could say. You could say, I'd love to offer attendees a free mini guide to implement what I teach, or an ebook, or I would love to offer them a free bonus session. Okay, so you could say that as a good value add. Number 8, turn Q&A sessions into speaking opportunities. Okay, if you're part of an online community or a membership, volunteer to lead a Q&A session. This is one of those things that you could have done as a part of the communities from yesterday. But people who are holding events are looking for value adds other than the everyday lineup. So sometimes when people hold events, they also have evening sessions that are kind of like fireside chats where they interview people, or maybe they have panels that talk about a group subject, right? You can offer to do one of those type of sessions host it. You can offer to moderate it to give the event host a break. You can offer to do a live Q&A on a session like where I love the way Gary Vee does things. He comes in, he might talk about trends. He picks one little thing, but he only talking for about 15 minutes and the rest of it is live Q&A because people know what he's an expert about. So if you can come in and talk a little bit about something that's on trend, that's a hot topic, people are going to have questions, and then you leave the rest of the time for their questions. That is a value add for any event, all right? Number 9, use guest speaking as a solution for their needs. If a host is struggling with engagement or fresh content, offer to fill that gap with your talk. For example, you can say, I saw you're looking for more engaging content in your group. Would a live training on such and such topic be helpful? Because I need you to understand, just like when you have events and you have to have a runway of marketing, event holders have to have a runway of marketing. So even if they have filled the lineup for the event, you can be a speaker that garners attention for the event for something that happens before the event. Okay, so you can offer that as a part of their marketing runway, offer a session for that. And so you could say something like, let me see. I can bring another, oh, what is this? I think I'm on the wrong one. Let me see. Let me go back up one. Okay, yeah. So you can say, hey, I see that you're marketing your event. What if we had a marketing event where I taught this to get people ready for the event? Okay. So I hope you get what I'm saying with that because I kind of feel like I got off course. But number 10, you can pitch a panel or co-speaking opportunity. Okay. A panel is like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people, right? But co-speaking could be you and somebody else. So you can get with your business besties who have aligned things and come together to bring more expertise. So some hosts hesitate to book solo speakers they don't have any experience with, but they love panel discussions or co-hosted sessions. So for example, you can say, I can bring another expert for a dynamic panel discussion on this topic. Your audience would love it, right? For example, when it comes to video, we already know that Shawana Kennedy and Dr. Tachi are a great team. They're doing lots of media scopes and Be More Ers together. But if they came together as a package to add value to an event, people would love that. Okay. The host would not turn that down. So these are things that we can do to get our speaking engagement opportunities up and we can increase so that we can sell to more audiences more often. Okay. So the question, and I don't know if that's proper English because I see some stuff red. Oh, wait, I never gave y'all the link. Okay, the question for today is, where is somewhere you'd like to speak that you could use one of these pitch strategies shared today? Let me put this question over here in the YouTube. YouTube been eerily quiet today. This week. All right. So we're going to start with Dr. LaFera, but I'm going to go back over the 10 pitch strategies for speaking opportunities, and then we're going to go in with Dr. LaFera for the question. All right. So number 1, you can pitch a unique audience-centric topic, okay? Number 2, you can leverage your existing audience and platform. Number 3, you can reference past speaking experience or social proof. Number 4, offer an interactive, actionable session. Number 5, show alignment with their mission and values. Number 6, be a super fan first so that you're engaging before you start pitching. Number 7, offer a custom bonus for attendees. Number 8, turn a Q&A session into speaking opportunities. Number 9, use guest speaking as a solution for their need of having something in the marketing for their event. Number 10, pitch a panel or co-speaking opportunity as a value add to the event. All right, we're going to start with Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, where is somewhere you'd like to speak that you could use one of these pitch strategies shared today? And we know you're no stranger to speaking. So where's somewhere that you want to speak that you haven't spoken?
I guess when you said that, I looked at something and this summit called Wellbeing at Work Summit USA came up. And It just happened. So that might be a nice conference for me to pitch.
Okay.
And then um, you said which one of those items? I guess I wrote the last ones down, but I
Mm-hmm.
guess like showing my alignment. So when I pitch conferences or pitch people now, I, especially in the healthcare, or if I'm pitching about having to help, about helping people to have more energy, or how to improve their health naturally, then I give them ways that I share things with them. Um, when I go back to my story about how I used to um, suffer from rheumatoid and sarcoid, and I no longer take medicine for it, and
Mm-hmm.
I will be teaching them the same framework. And so that's one way I establish like a commonality. I forget which number that was because I was looking for a conference. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I think your answer is aligned with a few of them, which is great. Um, because we actually want to bring in element as many elements of these 10 as we can bring in, even in one single pitch, the more valuable the pitch is. So I love that for you, Dr. LaFera. Dr. Tachi, where is somewhere you'd like to speak that you could use one of these pitch strategies shared today?
So I really loved what you were talking about Shawana and myself doing a package
Mm-hmm.
deal thing because that's something we already do. So I love that, and I ideally would like to speak at South by Southwest
Yes.
or
Yes.
and NAB, National Association of Broadcasters. Now, here's the thing. I
Mm-hmm.
already speak at BEA, which is the
Okay.
educational end of
Mm-hmm.
NAB. So if I could just transition that to the other side, that would be great.
But the great thing is you're a warmer selection than somebody coming off the street. So go ahead and start pitching.
Very true. Yes.
Hmm. Cool beans. All right, Kimberly, you can use the in studio chat, and then we'll share it with everybody else. We know you're probably at the Dream Funder and can't talk. So let's go to Dr. Ayana. Dr. Ayana, where is somewhere you'd like to speak that could use one of these pitch strategies shared today?
Ma'am, first of all, she does not like public speaking at all. So I don't know where I would like to speak. Public speaking is a forced thing for me, so it is last on my list. I need the eyeballs to calm down, though.
Dr.
Howsoever,
Tachi.
my favorite items of the list are number 9 and 10. I really love those two. So I'm gonna search more. I'm so resentful of those eyeballs. I'm going to search more speaking opportunities if I just have to. Please make her stop if I just
Dr.
have
Tachi.
to. I'm gonna scratch the eyeballs out. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, too
You know,
funny.
I'm gonna search for more speaking opportunities if I just have to do that.
Hmm.
I'm more of a writer, and I'm certainly going to implement number 9 and 10. I love those ideas. I think that it would be fantastic to be able to give relief to a host, and
Hmm.
and I actually, if I'm going to speak, I do enjoy co-hosting and co-speaking.
Hmm.
I have an engagement coming up on the 22nd. And I actually was scouting a co-author to appear with me. So I think those two rise to the top for me.
Yeah, I like that. So she said number 9 and 10. So number 9 is using speaking as a part of their marketing solution, and number 10 was pitching the panel or the co-speaking opportunity. So I love that for you. But another thing is for me, I don't look at myself as a public speaker, right? Do I speak? Yes. Will I pitch for speaking opportunities or accept speaking engagements? Yes. But I let people know I am not a professional speaker. I would not allow people to put that burden on me. I let people know that I am a messenger. Okay. I have a message and I want to spread that message, and I am a messenger. That way, I feel less anxiety around showing up, and I feel better about showing up as myself. Um, and it works out very well. I look at things as a conversation. whether I'm having a conversation with one person in a podcast or I'm having a conversation with a group in front of me live. Either way, it's a conversation. So I take that speaking off because I feel like it's weighing down on me for no reason when I can be a messenger, right? And I can have a conversation because I do that every day anyway. So that's how I can go live and talk to y'all in front of all the people and all that kind of stuff because I'm a messenger. And y'all know I also say I'm a vessel. So it's not even just me that the message has to come from. So I say come out of the, the clinical ego and go back into service when you think about it, Dr. Ayana, to help you to spread, what you have to say to more people as an act of service.
I'm on it.
Cool beans, cool beans. All right, let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl don't mind speaking. She don't mind speaking at all. So Cheryl, where is somewhere that you haven't spoken that you would like to speak that you can use one of the pitch strategies that we've shared today?
Let me see. I've done a lot of speaking. Probably a convention as opposed to a conference for writers, where they not only get hands-on, but they have tools to take back and they have vast Q&A. That's usually what you don't get at conferences unless you can isolate the speaker and, of course, they want the speaker to circulate.
I love that. I love that you're thinking bigger with it too, right? A lot of people want to be the opening keynote. I think I don't have to be the last keynote, but I would love to be the person that speaks after other people because I have a unique ability to be able to tie things in. And so I like to listen to other people and be able to tie stuff in with what other speakers have said because it makes it for a more cohesive event feeling for everybody. Everybody doesn't seem so isolated. And so I love to, as a matter of speaking, pull in what that speaker said and what this speaker said. Now, I'm not going to be there for your whole event if it's multi-day, but on the day that I speak, I'm going to tune in to at least a speaker before me, if not two speakers before me, right? So that I can bring in different things that they've said. So I love that as a technique to bring some interaction and cohesiveness across the speakers. Dr. Ayana said the last commentary was the best nugget of all. Thank you. Let's see. Dr. LaFerris said, I was thinking of a doctor thing for me too, but I did a lot of inner work to get over that. Yeah, we have to get over it because being able to speak is one of the ways that not only are we giving value, we're giving the best type of value. So if you think video is the cat's meow, the only thing that outdoes video is in-person speaking, right? And when I say video, the best video is actually live streaming like we're doing right now. So in-person speaking builds a connection that is hard to build anywhere else. So it's the best thing that you can do for your brand and for your business is to do live in-person speaking. People being in the room with you while you're speaking makes them feel like they know you more. They're connected to you more. Think about why people go to concerts versus just listening to it on the radio or just watching the video, right? They want to go see them in person. And they're paying way big amounts of money. I see Beyonce that knocked y'all over the head with ticket prices again, right? Because it doesn't matter how much you paid for her album or to stream her song or whatever. You want to see her in concert. You want to see her in person, right? It's a different experience. So yes, we definitely want to use this to our advantage. Dr. Ayana said at the public doesn't realize that we're learners. Yeah, you are. And at the doctoral level, you know that there is so much more to learn and that you can't possibly know it all, but they expect you to. Yeah, well, you can always turn that on them, right? Say, you know what? I think that question would be great homework because I think that you would learn more from going and doing a deep dive than I can give you topically here with the time that I have today. That's what I would do. Give it back to them. Tell them go research that shit. But okay. This week has been pretty good, right? As you guys know, I am on a journey of up-leveling my business. And every time I think about taking my next step and what is my plan for that step, I recognize that you guys need to be clued into my plan so that you can apply it to your business. So one of the things that I'm about to do on my coaching side is start selling more often. And when I sat down and thought about the ways that I was going to do it, I said, oh, that's a good thing for us to discuss this week. So I want to know, this week we talked about selling every day using social, using email, using communities, and adding in speaking is what we've done today. What has been the most impactful thing you've learned this week that's going to help you to make more money through selling more offers more often? This is a come off the mic moment. Let me know. You can also let me know if you have a question, but what I want to know is what is the nugget that you felt like was really game changing from this week? So anybody can come off the mic. Dr. Tachi.
Oh, the email by far, that, because that's not something that I'm doing now. So
Mm-hmm.
I really see, I mean, I've always seen the value in it, but for some reason, when you break it down,
Yeah.
I see more value in it because other people say just do it, but you're saying this is why. So
Yeah.
I
And this is how.
And this, yes, this is why, and this is how, exactly. So I definitely feel that. And then really quickly, today about the speaking, this is
Mm-hmm.
great because it's not like I haven't spoken before, but I always come from because I've actually been teaching public speaking for since like the early 2000s. But it's from a different perspective than what people know as speaking today, right? It's more of the theoretical why behind the speaking and the tools to prepare you to speak, and not so much speaking as a thing in and of itself, right? So
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's always topical, but it's different when you look at it on the university level and teaching students. So now this is something that I've had to come to, I'm like, well, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Why public? That's not a discipline.
Yeah.
What? So, but I've had to look at things differently now because of where speaking is going and
Yes.
people latching on to things like TED. So this was very helpful today.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so a past week that we've talked about speaking for visibility and credibility and all of that kind of stuff, we kind of talked about the process that you can have for speaking. So I taught you pitching today, but once you like win a pitch or somebody offers you an event, you have to have processes in place to help you to be more we're going to say professional. So if you go to shakehannon.com/speaking, you will see the stuff that we talked about that week. If you go in our Facebook group, our free business mastermind Facebook group, you can easily find the old show notes where I gave you specific processes for each one too. Again, you can also look at my speaking page, even though I'm about to update it. So you can go to, I think it's speaker, shakehannon.com/speaker. Let me see. And it is. So let me give you that one. Because you do want to have your assets and things in place for speaking. And so that was something that we talked about during that week when we talked about visibility of speaking. Even that I think I gave you guys the brand guide. I don't know if I gave it to you that week or the week before. But yes, we definitely want more opportunities to get in front of more people. But this week, what I specifically focused on is that you may not have your own community and your own audience, right? So that's what I specifically focused on because I don't want you to think that you can't do these things until you build your own audience. I also don't want you to think that you can't do it until you're able to afford paid traffic because you can do all of these things by borrowing an audience. And so that's what I focused on this week so that you can get started today. Like there's no reason why you can't get started with any of the things we talked about this week today. Okay. So that was to me the true value of this week. Not only am I telling you that you need to make more offers more often, I am giving you the tools to be able to do that. And you don't have to wait to have anything to be situated a certain way to get started. So this week to me, that was the value of it and the value that I was trying to be of service to give. So did anybody else have a game-changing nugget from this week for their business, Dr. LaFera?
what I like that you did this week was you not just the social media but the email. I missed the social media part, but
Mhm.
I'm sure it was very similar to the email.
It was.
Yeah, so what I did was it gave me motivation um to go in and like get the morning show notes and like update my GPT for my content so that it puts out stuff like more, I guess, like more rhythmic, so it's like more predictable. And so cuz I had done that, but I like the way that you did yours, and with the different days. So and I get a lot out of a lot of the stuff that you've been doing, especially lately, like with the brand guides and stuff. I go back and look at
Mhm.
those and just get some ideas about like how I'm going to do my stuff, since like I'm just gonna have to hire it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a lot of value out of what you've been doing.
Good, good. Because I mean, to me, that is the value in it, right? To me, it's the difference between somebody teaching you and coaching you on something that they've never done, even though they've been taught how to do it, or that they haven't done in a while, even though they're an expert in the industry of doing it, right? Because as I'm doing things, I'm gonna think of things that I wouldn't think of if I wasn't doing it in the moment. So this week, what was near and dear to me as a focus and a goal was, what is the thing that stops most people? Like, you've heard that you need to be speaking more before, but what is the thing that stops you? And do you understand the value in it? So it's kind of like Dr. Tachi said, I don't just tell you, oh yeah, y'all need to be doing more speaking and then go on with something else. No, I say you need to do this is why, and then this is how, because I have found that cluster of information together is more impactful for someone who needs that as a strategy than just talking at you, telling you that you need to be speaking. And I don't care if you're afraid to public speak, you need to just do it. Like, that's not helpful. So thank you for that, Dr. LaFera. Cool beans. Anybody else have what was most impactful for you this week? Cheryl.
Just you reminding me, us, how impactful speaking is. Um, my first speaking engagement in the industry um, was it was a big event, and I couldn't understand why they wanted me to talk about the impact that a chain bookstore has on your sales.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got into the room, it was very clear, and this is something that you show us every day, is you got to go with the flow. You can't give them what they don't want. And every time I would try to talk about the bookstore, hands go up and they got questions. And so I just said to the moderator, we're going to ditch the chain bookstore thing, and we're just going to have a Q&A. This became the number one best-selling, because they sold tapes and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
best-selling workshop at this conference.
Yes.
And what was very interesting is that once they became engaged, it was like wildfire. So much so that they canceled the permission of the next speaker. They canceled
Mm-hmm.
the next workshop. And that was just, when you talked, today, and the way you operate yourself, it's just a reminder that you can have one speaking engagement and you can launch your public ship, so to speak. And
Yep.
you can, how can I say it? You can know that you're having the impact because these people continue to follow you years after. And as long as we stay relevant, which is something else you show us, don't keep selling dead cookies, Um,
Yep.
but as long as we stay relevant, they stay with us. So I really appreciate that.
Cool beans. I appreciate that too, Cheryl. And it's very true. Like, you can tell the difference when somebody is doing something for themselves and when they're doing something to be of service. Because people who are doing things to be of service are clued into the people who they are trying to service. right? So we're more adaptable to what you need. If I'm having a talk about this, but most of the people in the audience, they kind of got that down and don't need that, I'm not going to keep talking about that. I'm going to then say, okay, it seems like y'all got that down. What is something that you have a question about, or what is something that's hindering you from getting results with? Like, when you are an expert, you can shift like that. And that's why I try to always teach you guys that there are people who know one method of doing things. And then there are people who are an expert in that area and they can fly with you with wherever you need to go. But the people who have one method, which there's nothing wrong with that, until they make you feel crazy when you recognize that that one method doesn't work for you. Some people can't talk about anything other than the one way they know how to do it. So they're an expert at a method. They're not an expert in an industry or an expert on a subject matter. Okay. And that's the difference. That's why I'm not afraid to go live and answer your questions live and all of that. And I also, as an expert, I stay indoctrinated in my industry. I'm always learning new things. And so now I can learn something and offer that to you. That's why I've made that my email on Mondays. Because y'all know on Sunday, I learn something new every Sunday as an intention, right? As an intention. And sometimes I can gather enough information about it, even though I haven't done it yet, to offer it to you guys, like we did with the week that we did the faceless marketing and faceless offer. I had gathered so much information. I was like, hey, let us all test this and see what we get, right? So yeah, being of service, we have to come out of our clinical ego. I don't like to just say ego by itself because that makes it sound, too many people are using the word narcissistic incorrectly, and that's not how I'm meaning it. I mean like egoid, Freudian ego. Come out of you thinking about everything is focused on you, as far as criticism, as far as pressure, and all of that is focused on you. Come out of that and go into servicing others and how you can be more helpful with the thing that you know. All right, cool beans. Anybody else want to talk about how things were impact? No, I think everybody has pretty much talked because Kimberly is in the Dream Funder. So let's go to these show notes. I mean, these announcements, because you know the morning show is a big part of our free business mastermind. It's more like a class. And with class, you have notes. And if you want my notes that has these 10 strategies on it, there's only 2 ways for you to get it. One, you have to be in our free business mastermind group, and all of the notes live in the files section. The second way you can get it is you can get the show notes and the entire show in your email inbox by going to shaycannon.com/show. And what you're going to get is you're going to get 2 emails every broadcast day. One will be in the morning to tell you to hop on the YouTube live. One will be in the afternoon that will give you a link to the replay and a link to the show notes. Okay. So go to shaycannon.com/show. Dr. LaFera said, thank you for embodying service. Thank you, baby, because I'm too much of a perfectionist to do this in a way where I'm always looking at myself. I wouldn't get anything done. So I have to understand that my focus is to be of service. And even if I know this much, or I know that much, or I know this much, I need to share it, because any of it that I know is going to be of help. So I don't wait until I have this much, right? I go ahead. If I got that much, I'm going to share it if it's going to be impactful. So thank you for that, Dr. LaFera. All right, to find out more about me, your generous host, Shay Cannon, or about this hugely valuable, hugely talked about free business mastermind, go to the description below where you can get a link and more details. All right. Now, we gave you value all week long, and today was no different. So let me get you to give me a thumbs up and like this episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss any value in the future. And also, today was 1 video out of a 4 video series. So make sure you check out the other videos. All right. All right, people. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday.